another episode of Think and Grow with Vette Green. Listen, you guys, I have some fantabulous news, okay? This year opened up with so many opportunities for me. The first one being that the position that I've been working at since August of 2018, when I decided to take that leap out on faith and trust that the universe, God, everything that is happening to me was happening to me for a reason. That position that I have been in for 2.5 years, the same position that three times, every time it came time for me to become a full-time employee with this company, something happened. Either it wasn't in a budget, then COVID happened. So many things happened to me with this position that there were times that I was just like, you know what, I'm tired of it. I became frustrated. Thank you, God, that I had a boss that was so very supportive of me. I finally became a full-time employee. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Listen, you guys, when I started on this journey, I wanted to prove to anyone who had been in the same position as I had, where you were broke, where you were broken, where it seems like everything in your life that could go wrong was going wrong. I wanted to test and prove that having faith in the universe, God, whatever you want to call them, will never fail you. It will never, ever fail you. Listen to me. Don't stop. Don't keep scrolling. Stop right here, because you are here for a reason, okay? You are here because something drew you here, and you need to hear what I have to say today. I will not steer you wrong with this. This is tried, tested, proven. Today is my very first day in this position, you guys. And you know what? I was able to, within 2.5 years, because I tried, tested, and put my faith into God, and knowing that everything that I had gone through was for a reason, knowing that He woke me up every day for a reason, knowing that the times that I tried to take myself out and He didn't allow me, He woke me up for a reason. For a reason, you guys. I tried this. It works. It works. I was able to, in 2.5 years, increase my income by 60%. 60%, 60, you hear me. Because I believed that God placed me on this earth for a reason. And that if I follow these guidelines that I'm going to teach you, if you continue with me on this journey, if you're just now following me, if you're just now deciding that you want change in your life, come on, come into this neighborhood. I am going to show you what I did to change my mind and increase my income by 60%, because it's possible. It's possible. You are listening to someone who, in August of 2018, was sleeping on her mom's couch. I was sleeping on my mom's couch, you guys. I did not have enough money to buy myself a cup of coffee from Tim Hortons that was $1.69. I had to borrow $2 from my mom. Do you know how embarrassing that was? I had a family. I had 6 kids, and I had to borrow $2 from my mother to buy myself a cup of coffee. Yeah, let that sink in, because I want that to sink in. I want you to understand the transformation that I went through. And it started first in my mind. In my mind, you guys. I had to believe that God did not save me for just nothing. Every time that I tried to take myself out, but God, He didn't allow it, because there was a purpose on my life. There's a purpose on your life, and that is what drew you to this video right now. There's a purpose on your life. It doesn't matter what it looks like right now. Trust and believe. It doesn't matter. When I went on this journey, you guys, in 2018, I did not know that this is what was going to happen. I just knew that if I did not jump out on faith, if I did not trust that my reason for being had a purpose, that I would have died. And it would have been because of my own hand, no one else's. No one else's. And listen, it was tough, you guys. There were days where I would come home and be like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. I don't have any benefits. I don't know if they're going to come tomorrow and say, we don't need you anymore. It was tough. When I tell you that there has to be a mindset shift in your head when you are going through the process, there's a mindset shift, you guys, because all of those things that are happening to you, you have to change the narrative. You have to change the narrative, because if you focus solely on the negative aspect of what's going on, that's exactly where your mind is going to land you. You're going to think about all the bad things. So if it was a day where it was, just so busy, and it's like, I'm not even a permanent employee and I'm going through all of this. If I looked at it that way, then every time that I tackled the situation, I would have been like, oh, I'm not even a permanent employee. I don't have to do this. I don't have to be bothered with this. But no, I looked at it this way. Okay, there's an issue going on. And no, I'm not a permanent employee, but this is my chance to show them the value that I bring to this position. This is my chance to show them the problems that I'm able to solve with the work experience that I have. This is my chance. Every problem that I tackled it with the knowledge that, you know what? This is either going to be a lesson, or this is going to be something that I can use for my future. And it landed me right where I'm at, you guys. It landed me right where I'm at. I trusted in God because I knew that God would not steer me wrong, that he had set my feet down in Chicago for a reason. And no, I didn't know what it was going to look like. And no, I did not plan to be a contract employee for this long. But God, it worked out for me. Each step that I took, listen, you guys, he was right there with me. Each step, he kept on saying, stick with it, stick with it. I have a plan for you. Stick with it. And I kept on saying, God, seriously? Like, I felt at times that I wasn't even appreciated. But I knew, because of what God was telling me, that the value that I brought to that position, no one could deny that. No one could deny that. During this journey, I would listen to different motivational speakers, and I listened to Dr. King. And one of the speeches that he made, he said in that speech, and it was so profound to me because I felt that it resonated with me. He said, even if you're a street sweeper, and this is not verbatim, this is Vette's take on how I absorbed it. Even if you're a street sweeper, even if you're working at McDonald's at the cashier, be the best employee that you could be. You have to show them what value you bring in that position. You have to show them. So even though it may not be, oh, that's not in my job description, so what? So what? That may be a stretch opportunity for you. I got so many stretch opportunities in this position, you guys, that I felt the growth. I was like, wow, girl, like, I didn't even know that you had that in you. Stretch opportunity after stretch opportunity after stretch opportunity, even though it was not in my job description. That opportunity gave me a way to show them what value I could bring to an organization. You may be in a position right now, and you may not be getting the money that you feel like you deserve. You may not be getting the acknowledgement that you feel that you deserve, but God sees what you're doing. And the harder you work, the harder he's going to work. When you are put into a position where your back is up against the wall and you have no other way out but your own fruition, listen, you guys, because this is a gem right now. When your back is up against the wall, I went from my mom's couch to my nephew's couch. My back was up against the wall. I knew that I could not continue to live like I was living. I knew that I had to make a change in my life. And I knew that in order to do that, I had to do something that I had never done before. And that was changing my mind about the way I looked at life. I could have stayed focused on all the bad things that happened. I could have stayed focused on the molestation. I could have stayed focused on, the separation, divorce, the heartbreak, the depression, anxiety. I could have stayed focused on all of that. But God, I'm going to continue to say that God said yes to me. God said yes to me. God said yes to you when you woke up this morning. It does not matter what you are going through. There is always light at the end of the tunnel. You just have to start looking for it. I had to start looking for that light at the end of the dark tunnel because it looked bleak for me. It looked bleak for me. I moved from my mom's house, sleeping on her couch with no money. If you've been with me on this journey, you know that I came to Chicago with $350 in my name, interviewed for this position that I'm in, but did not start for about 3 weeks because everything kept on happening. The date kept on getting pushed back, and I was feeling, like, wow, I came here and I'm applying for other positions, and I only have $350 in my pocket. I'm sleeping on my nephew's couch, who's a single dad. He's a single dad. So I knew that I had to do something because this wasn't going to do it. I knew that I couldn't leech off of my nephew. Come on. He's a single dad raising his son. I can't hop from one couch to the other and just be lazy about taking charge of my life. I had to be accountable for my life and take charge of my life. And that's what I did, you guys. When I tell you that I started listening to Les Brown, you guys know my girl, Queen Lisa Nichols. Listen, Mano, listen, out anything that I could do to change the way that I was thinking, I did it. And it worked. It worked. When I tell you, listen, I'm going to keep on saying this because I want you to absorb all of this. I am so excited because I tried it, I trusted it, and it worked. It worked. I put my faith into God. I put my faith into knowing that I am here for a reason, and it worked. It worked. By the grace of God, it worked. Your mindset matters. Your mindset matters. All of those experiences that you have gone through, all of those experiences that you are going to go through, because it doesn't stop. Life doesn't just stop and everything just magically turns happy just because something good happens in your life. There's just another level that you're going to go through. There's levels to this thing. There really are levels to this thing. But it's possible. It's possible, but you have to believe first. You have to tell yourself time and time again, every day, that I can do this, that I can do this. There would be times that I would be getting up, walking to the train station with tears in my eyes, you guys, because I was missing my family. I moved 430 some odd miles away from everything that I loved, my kids, my mom, everything that I knew and loved. It was just me and my 2 nephews, just the 3 of us. And it was challenging at times. It was challenging. There would be times, like I was saying, that I would be walking to the train station with tears in my eyes because I'm pushing through here in Chicago and there's things going on at home that I couldn't control. There was nothing that I could do about them. But God. But God, I knew that each step that I took, each step that I was walking towards that train station was going to change my life. I knew when I walked into that office, I had to be the best possible person that I can be in that position because God told me yes. God said, this is going to change your life. Your back was up against the wall. This was going to change my life, and it did. This was the 3rd time that I moved out of state away from my family. This I knew was do or die. Do or die. I didn't want to battle depression for the rest of my life. I didn't want to battle anxiety for the rest of my life. I didn't want to tell myself and show my kids that I couldn't be better than I was yesterday. And to do that, I had to get away from everything that broke me. Sometimes in life, we have to remove ourselves out of the situation that's hurting us in order to see the light. I was surrounded with so much hurt and pain that it was just controlling my everyday existence. Every day I was surrounded by brokenness when you come from a neighborhood where it's so oppressed and they don't show you that there's a way out. You tend to believe that. You believe what you see. And I wasn't seeing too much around me that provided me with guidance, provided me with the knowledge that, yes, although you've gone through these things, let me show you a way to overcome. I wasn't around that. So it is my goal to become that person because I know what it means to not have that. I know what it feels like to not have the type of surroundings that will make you, allow you to dream. I know what that feels like. Dreams die so many times in neighborhoods where they tell you that you're no good, where they tell you that the only way that you're going to make money is to stand outside and sell drugs, where they tell you that you have to sell your body. Dreams are lost so many times when that's all you see around you. And I knew that even though I had gone through so much, even though I had gone through the battle with alcohol and pills, I knew that my life was not determined. My future would not be determined by those things that I had gone through. But I had to test it. I had to try it. And I had to prove it for myself, to myself. And I had to say, thank you, God. Because you told me when you woke me up in that hospital, you told me that there's a better future that I have for you. And I thank God for that. I thank God for that every day because I didn't know what I didn't know. But now that I do know, I am trying to bring you on this journey if you're ready. If you aren't ready, it won't happen for you. It is a total transformation of your mind. Everything that you have been told from before this day has to leave if it's not working for you. If it is not benefiting you, you need to leave it back there. You have to leave it back there. This is a mind transformation thing. It's changing the narrative. It is dismissing and healing from those things that broke you. Those things that break us tend to keep us hostage. It kept our parents hostage. Many of our parents are still kept hostage because of those things. Someone has to say enough is enough and start to break those chains. I knew that my life could be a lot better, but I didn't know the steps I needed to take to get to that better life. I had no idea. I didn't know that one step is all it took. One step. That's it. That one step is your yes. Just saying yes to yourself. Just saying unapologetically yes to you. That's all that it takes, you guys. I swear to you, that is all that it takes. And the commitment to yourself to say, you know what? No matter how bad my day is, tomorrow is another day. By the grace of God, tomorrow is another day, and this too shall pass. And knowing that that strength that you have within you, that strength that you had when you were a child before all those things happened to you, you still have it. You have to uncover it. I talked about before in a previous podcast, removing the dirt and thinking about the flowers and everything that comes out of the earth in the spring. We don't know what they have to go through, what those things have to go through to come out of that dirt. You are the same way. You can start removing that dirt. You can. Stop thinking that you can't. Don't think that, oh, that's just for her. No, I used to think that same thing. I used to watch people on television and listen to certain things and be like, oh, you know, they were just lucky. I couldn't do that. I want to say BS, but I'm not going to cuss. BS. BS, you guys. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. I did it. I did it. You can too. You have to change the narrative of where your thoughts are leading you. If the first thought that pops in your mind is, I can't, you won't. You won't. It's impossible. It's impossible. Have you guys ever heard when you're angry, if you start doing the breathing exercise, it calms you down? There's a reasoning behind that, and I want to show you that. I want to show you all of these techniques that have really helped me. They really have. You can go from a minimum wage position to making, even more. But it just depends on what you want in life, and are you willing to change your mind about where you are right now? Are you willing to settle for where you are right now? Are you going to be happy where you are right now? Do you have a 30, 60, 90-day plan? Let me help you with that. I can show you because it is tried and proven. Trust and believe. Trust and believe. God does not want you wallowing in your misery. God does not want you thinking that you are only what you've gone through. Not at all. Not at all. And I'm going to prove it to you. If you come along in this neighborhood with me, hit the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button. Let me show you. Let me show you what I did to change my mind. It's up to you. Come on in the neighborhood. Come on in the neighborhood. Let me show you what to do. Let me show you what to do. And I'm going to leave it at that. Have a wonderful day, you guys.